I'm glad to get an opportunity to talk on this very important topic, and I know that we have that many members here have a lot of talking done, and it's time for action now. And I do appreciate, Minister, that you are doing your best in the position that you now hold, and have confidence that you will continue to try to do that. I suppose we do disagree about certain things. I'm worried that down the line that this will erode powers of elected members and indeed local authorities. And I also very worried that maybe that this land development agency that would be accountable to nobody, that there'd be no accountability. I honestly believe that publicly owned land should be 100% for social housing, and I can't understand how partial making these developments maybe private and more of it affordable and social. That won't work. Each development on public lands should be publicly owned, and build houses to rent them, build houses, affordable houses to sell them, yes, and indeed, if possible, sell sites to couples or people that want to build a house for themselves. If they qualify for social housing, they should qualify to be allowed to buy a site in that regard. I'd be very worried if publicly owned lands that we have, say in Killarney, like St. Finnan's, that site, very valuable site, that I am striving for many years now to ensure that land is transferred back by the HSE to Kerry County Council from where it came from in the first place, and that local authority houses would be built there. We need them in Killarney. Builders and developers indeed are doing a great job where they can, but they're up against it at the present time, because with costs of materials and the cost of timber especially, you look for timber for a house in Kerry at the present time, there's a 6-week wait, and they won't tell you what the timber is going to cost till they arrive with it. And at the same time, we can't fell our forestries. Here, no one can get a felling license, yet in Germany and other places, there's no such thing as a felling license. Only, it's well known that when you plant a forestry, it has to be cut down when it is ripe and available, and now we're importing timber. The regulator that we have is against one-off houses, people that are trying to build houses themselves. And like, those people should be supported in every kind of way. There's several designations preventing them from building at the present time. It's hard to get planning, very hard in many parts of our county, and that's not right, because people, all they want is to put a roof over their heads and make a home for themselves, and they should get every assistance, indeed, from us as elected members, and from the department, from the minister, from the government, and from the local authorities. But they're finding it very hard at the present time, Minister. We have a problem. We're told here, look, money is not an object, and that houses will be built, and houses, and that there's no problem. Yet we have massive problems with sewerage, Minister, and no facilities. 32 settlements, imagine, in Kerry, have no sewerage facility. 17 towns and villages are waiting for extensions. You can't build in the town of Kenmare. You can get planning permission, but until the treatment plant is extended, you can't build that. Zoning and designations, and zoning and dezoning, and that's what's happening in Kerry at the present time. The local authority members are told they can dezone, they can increase zoning around Killarney, but you must dezone places like Rathmore and outside of that. That's not fair, Minister. and that's not right, because people want to live in their own areas, and they're being denied that right by two things: by zoning designations and by the non-existent facilities, sewerage facilities. Places like Beaufort, a massive village that could expand, but no treatment plant. In fact, there's two housing estates there, absolutely in a terrible state. The local authority has to draw the sewage out of them every week into the Killarney treatment plant. Things like that are happening in Corra. No treatment plant at all in Scotland Lynn. No treatment plant in SD. Places, all those places, and they are honest, good, hard-working people, and they deserve to have to be able to put a roof over their heads. It's just not right, Minister, and I'm appealing to deal with that. If you say money is not a problem, we need to bring up. It may not be nice to be talking about sewerage inside here in places like this, but if we don't have proper facilities, you can't have homes, and it's very important that we do so. Then there's probably small builders and developers are finding it very difficult to continue, because levies and regulations and VAT and all those things, and then they have to carry the cost, and the banks are very hard to get money off of. This is the one thing that you have to look at, Minister. They have to carry the cost to the very end, because there's no stage payments allowed anymore. And there's many small builders and developers will have to, they are going out of the business, they will have to go out of it, because they can't continue. If you have no money, you have no fun, and that's the story with small developers and builders now. They can't afford to carry the full cost, and the costs are going up all the time, Chairman, and that's what's happening, and we have to realise it, and we have to do something to help those people.